All right. So the first one up here is something that Pedro and I had talked about yesterday and trying to figure out as we come out of engineering allocation work, which it feels like we're getting closer and closer to every week, then we'll start moving back into planned work or previously ideated and sort of feature work. And one of the places we want to start with that, and what we had, it's well researched and designs are basically done, is what we're calling attention requests. I don't know if that'll be the final name. But what we need in order to understand that work and then prioritize it against sort of everything else we're looking at is for issues to be created and the work to be broken down. So it's sort of large set of work that requires both front end and back end. And so I think, Matt, this predates you, interestingly enough. And I think Michelle had looked at this at one point, I believe, in another issue, but maybe not. Maybe it doesn't predate you that much. But anyways, so we need someone. We need engineers to break this down and come up with the list of issues and get them attached to this sort of the epic, so we can get weights and start roughly planning timelines. So the ask is, while we're still in engineering allocation and while everyone is very busy, do we think we have time to sort of have someone from back end, and the same ask is for Andre, someone from front end to start looking at this and breaking it down so we can get those issues created? I think there's some comments in here already in both the issue and the epic that provide like high level overviews, but specific issues I think would be good. And we want engineers to have some stake in this in terms of looking at the work, asking any questions they have up front, making sure that we're addressing concerns and have answers to those questions, so we're not stuck later, or it doesn't feel like directions change later and sort of that thing. So that is the ask here. It seems like we would have that time, but that's the ask here.
Seems reasonable. Yeah. I looked it over a little bit. Yeah, it must have been before me, or it was around when I started, I think. It was a couple months. Is when we brought it up again. It was in July, but the initial thing was before that. But yeah, it seems reasonable that we could have somebody start kind of looking at it and breaking it down. I didn't look at the epic too closely, but there's some couple issues in there already, but I think it's mostly just the planning parts of it. It's not the actual implementation issues. Is that right?
Yeah, I think there were, there's like two issues that are in there that sort of are ideas and not necessarily implementation issues. And then one of the issues that's still there is the one that says like, would be the issue that you would assign for like planning, if you needed to assign it in that way. But yeah, that's the issues that are in there.
The Figma link up at the top of the issue or the epic is, or you don't have permission to view it. Let's see, do I even have access to this? Let's find out. Okay, good. I'm just an idiot. I have access. Carry on.
Perfect. Yeah, I think everyone should have all the access, and there's a ton in here. This will also be good. I think Sungjun had done a lot of the work on this too, and so be able to consult her as well if we need to, probably, if there are some unclear things still. So cool. And I think the ask from us, and we can figure this out in engineering, 14.4 is effectively just started. It's a few days in. It feels like we're likely that, although it's still not clear, it feels like we're likely to get out of engineering allocation by 14.5, based on one sort of remaining issue, but some details to figure out about how we get out officially. So potentially we would start working on this in 14.5, but that's also pending caching work and mergeability work and work in progress draft work that all also needs to be like wrapped up, that is related but not engineering allocation work. And so we sort of just need to know how much we could fit this in. So ideally we'd like to potentially start on something in 14.5, but we need to know what that looks like. So we've got basically the milestone to get it broken down.
Yeah, it sounds good. It kind of goes, something I've been thinking about too, is trying to get more of these issues investigated early, before the week of the milestone starts or the week before. So this will be a good case study of that, because sounds like, I'm not sure, maybe we used to do that a little bit better. We haven't done it much lately, but it's been weird times. So yeah, be nice to kind of get into that routine of kind of looking into issues that are coming up in the next milestone during the current milestone. So we're ready to go.
This is a theme coming up in the technical writing team as well. You've been mostly shielded from it because you're on engineering allocation. We weren't doing anything, so I didn't have to tell you about it. They're trying to figure out what it would take to turn the team from reactive to proactive. And step one is starting to examine issues like these. So as we're starting to work out, how should this work for this team? Probably part of it should be tap, tap, tap. Amy, what does this need? Because let's just say that when they ran the numbers of planned versus unplanned, my manager just about had a heart attack for 14.3 because I had about the usual amount of work and nothing was planned. So, anyway.
Yeah, I think as we come out of engineering allocation and as we get back into a more regular rhythm of planning, we probably do need to revisit what's up next and what's not. We haven't, it's been several months now since we've thought about more than next week. So we'll have to revisit that as well. But yeah, this is sort of this is one of those, this is a huge one, which is why we're bringing it up. But yeah.
Yeah, it's going to have tendrils.
Cool. Matt, you've got the
All
next
right.
one.
Yep, so I could talk a little bit. Yeah, like Kai mentioned, we have one InfraDev issue left. That one hopefully will get merged in the next day or two here. There's an MR that's in maintainer review now, so that's good. And then our error budgets are green for now, at least. There's some discussion and confusion about what's the next step for error budgets, and if they're going to be tuning them back from 5 seconds, the threshold back lower, or if we have control over that. So that's still ongoing, but at least for now, they're green for the first time in months. I don't know, since that dashboard was created, I think. So that's good. So yeah, then the question is something I've been talking to, we talked about it a little bit in the engineering allocation meeting yesterday about kind of what's the next steps? How do we get out of this? So yeah, that's a hot topic. So I'm working with Darva on that this week. We've had a couple conversations about it already, but yeah, it's not well defined. We'll say that. It's the process for exiting, partly because we never really defined like exit criteria. So we've just been going on the assumption that exit criteria means finishing InfraDev issues and error budget work, which we're close to. So that's good. Yeah, I did. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I saw your response. I think that's fine. Do you know, I feel like we talk about this every week, like we're trying to figure out how we get defined exit criteria and how we get out of this. Do you have an expectation of like when or how that conversation will happen to know like what's coming.
Yeah. Right. The best I've been able to figure out is when so there's that epic that I linked to here. When everything in there is done, then we can create an MR to just get us off that list. Seems like it's not very official, but we can do that. So I was planning on just doing that, I guess, but and seeing what Christopher and others have to say about that. But yeah, it's that was kind of the message that I got when I had been asking around. It's just, yeah, once because there's a column on the handbook in the engineering allocation section that says like the criteria or something, and ours just links to this epic. And so when we're done with that, then I've been thinking that will be the end of this engineering allocation. Hoping. I did. So the other thing, what I mentioned, I had said something about security issues, mostly just because I know another number of other teams are looking into their security issues as part of the engineering allocation. So I just wanted to be a little proactive that in case we're asked about it, we know what the status is at least, but that focus is mostly on like S1 and S2 issues, I think, and we don't have any of those for security issues, so that's good. Not to say that our security issues aren't important, but there's definitely higher priority ones out there that people are worried about.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think it's good to get back on the security ones. I know we had bumped sort of milestone over milestone. We bumped a lot of those because of not everything gets to be a P1.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah. In the past few months, it's been okay. Well, InfraDev issue is more important than any security issue, so we had to move them all out. So yeah.
And there's a comment on that issue too. I think we just need to figure out how we want to approach addressing those, because we do still have performance, and we have we've got some like usability bugs that have creeped back in lately that we're going to need to start dealing with again as well. So we'll just have to figure out a balance for those, and maybe be firmer on keeping those S3, S4 security issues in than we have been historically. That's fine.
And Amy, you're heading out on PTO?
Yeah, just a couple days left to punish me with merge requests for daring to leave. So I'd say do your worst, but I've met you all before.
Well, enjoy your
time off.
Yeah. It looks
this
amazing.
Is the
so, yeah,
this is the big trip.
Yeah.
Cool.
Haven't seen my bestie in 2 years. So okay.
All right.
That's all I got.
Well, I don't have anything
Sounds
else. Thanks everyone for the time, and enjoy the rest of your week. I'm off Thursday, Friday this week. Friday's Friends and Families Day, so I assume everyone's off. So I'm off tomorrow, but be back on Monday.
Excellent. All right. Have a
All
good
right.
weekend and vacation if I don't talk to you before then.
Bye.
Okay.